This one here is Amy, my Poecilotheria hybrid that recently molted, a cross between a vittata and an ornata, which makes it a ghost fringed ornamental. Well, that's my common name that I made myself. This is a 5-inch female. Beautiful. Caught it in mid-air. Now, I think the Tigrina Weselli that I'm supposed to be getting is going to be almost as big. You can see that the first two pairs of legs have the characteristic yellow band on them, so you know that cannot be a vittata. But if you notice right here, that is the epigastric furrow, which indicates it's a female, and you saw in my video I actually got a nice intact molt from her, and I sexed it in front of you to show you that this is a confirmed female. And a very, very beautiful one at that, but not going to breed her. She's just going to be a nice showpiece in my collection. Took a break from the teas and the arachnids. We're going to film Espa. She is my Hypo yellow fat leopard gecko. It's a Hypo yellow morph. Okay, so right now I'm giving enriched calcium. Supers. Yeah, very, very nice female. She always has good appetite. And I usually give her a couple of worms here and there, like once a week or so. And last one. Savage eater. Supers. Yeah, it's always important to give your geckos and your lizards much needed calcium, or else they'll have a condition known as metabolic bone disorder. And that's not a good sign when that happens. Okay, cool. Now we'll get back to teas. Alright, Poecilotheria regalis, Indian ornamental. This is my 8-inch female named Zelda. May not be able to see her well. But you probably know what she looks like. Oh me, oh my, what have I done? I've opened Pandora's box. This is my other P. regalis, much more visible than Zelda, but hopefully I can make do with a super. There we go. Not sure if you can actually see what she looks like. And she's about 7.5 inches. A little bit smaller than Zelda, but still a mature female. I'm keeping her in a 10-gallon tank. I just basically flipped it on its side and add a plexiglass so that way the substrate doesn't fall off. when I opened the cage. I mean, it's a perfect size for your big terrestrials. Maybe a bit too large for a regalis, but if you have like an ornata or a rufilata or even the Singapore blue, be great enclosures. Yeah, there we go. Nice colors. I've had her since she was about 2 inches, and she grew on me for the past 8 years. Saw how awesome my T. gigas was. Let's try a Tapinauchenius sanctivincenti, St. Vincent's tree spider. Oh, this is something that I bred a couple years ago. And I think that's about it. Yeah, the cricket's there. Yeah, that's dead. Alright. Aww. She's so cute. Alright, nice. This one here is my 3/4 inch Fringed Ornamental spiderling. Poecilotheria ornata. Awesome. This is a Poecilotheria rufilata Redslate Ornametal. This is a spiderling. That I will have to eventually rehouse. Yeah. Alright guys, so today it's Friday. We're continuing on with the feeding video. So the next one up is my big female Daisy. She is a Lasiodora parahybana, the salmon pink bird eater. Close to a 6.5 inch female. Nice. Little hair kicking, but that's to be expected for LPs. Princess Peach is the name of my Chaco golden leaf female, Grammostola pulchripes, 4.5 inches. Oh, nice pounce on that one. Very nice species, recommended for the beginner. However, they can be a little bit on the temperamental side next to the G. poteri or the G. rosea. Alright, this guy or this gal is huge. This is my Poecilotheria vittata, ghost ornamental, adult female. Okay. I'm going to give this girl another one because I think she deserves it. There we go. Trying to fatten this girl up. Seems to be working. Not very friendly at all. Cute. Hola, Dora the Explorer. It's my Lasiodora difficilis, the Brazilian fire red bird ear, my female Dora. She's around 5.5 inches. Doing well. This is one of the 3 tarantulas that I got from Ty. I made an unboxing video shortly before Christmas week. This is his male Lasiodora difficilis. The fire red bird eater. At first when I unboxed him, he was moving kind of funny. I thought the worst, but then when I rehoused him, he was all fine, and you can see standing on his first superworm from me. His OBT and his H. maculata didn't feature in the first part because they weren't interested in eating. But I know it's a Lasiodora, and they're pretty much bottomless pits when it comes to food. This is a pretty rare tarantula, confirmed female, Megaphobema mesomelas, which is the Costa Rican Red Leg. Okay, so it's around 3 inches, not full grown. Oh, nice wrestle there. Yeah. A little bald spot, but she did great. Hopefully I can say the name of this tea right. Cyriopagopus lividus. Yeah, that's the new name of the former H.lividum lividum, Cobalt blue. Finally, Midna decided to make a burrow for herself. So, let's see how Queen Evil will eat, or the Twilight Princess. Okay, doesn't seem interested. Okay, I'll just leave it as an update to show you where she was. Like, most of the time she was here, and now she started to make a burrow. Hopefully she's going to continue it. And just to show you that it is a cobalt blue. You can see from the blue legs. Pretty. This video is for you. This is your green bottle blue, Chromatopelma pubescens, 4-inch female. Crazy. Gotta love your GBBs. Also, a great Weber, and for those of you who are interested in wanting a tarantula that makes some sick webs and has pretty colors, this tea is it. Very simple to take care of. Not too defensive, at least with this female. This is Sasha, 6.5-inch adult female Acanthoscuria rocklehursti, giant white banded. Alright. Now let me find another one. What a pig. What a very, very nice size female. I love watching this female. This is my Eucratocellus pachybus, stout-legged baboon female. And I think it grabbed it. Yep, perfect. There we go. Wanted to show you a nice prize in front of the camera. Cool. This is Wendy, my other Grammostola pulchripes, Chaco golden. Around the same size as Peach. Yep. It's quite gentle. Awesome. Okay, way down in the hole is where my skeleton sleeps. Megaphobema murinus. Sorry guys, you're not going to really see this one. I'll try to get another one down there, see if this will go for a second one. It's a huge female. Yeah, sorry guys, not the greatest of lighting. Yeah, you can barely make out its leg. And can I see it through here? Okay. She's under there with both worms. Good job, Bridget. Okay, there's Morticia, my big V vagans, Mexican red rump. Alright, see if this one's gonna eat. Ooh! She was a savage. Yeah, if you guys remember my older mating video that took, I think, around 3 or 4 years ago. It's the first time where I saved Brad's male, or any mature male for that matter. Okay, let's go have a second one, see if she's gonna want that. Okay. You can see her black legs. I mean, she's gorgeous. Beautiful. Let's check her out, guys. That's what your Mexican red rump is going to look like once they hit their adult stage. Huge Brachypelma. Definitely one of the largest members. Ooh, I love Pamphibedius. This one here is a species Ecuador or Platyama, pink bloom bird eater, jade, 5-inch female. Let's give another one. Yeah. It's beautiful, beautiful specimen. And you can tell with most Pamphibedius is that they have a star-like pattern in front of their carapace. He's trying to get it, but she has that other superworm in her mouth. There we go.
I mean, this girl is probably about half grown, and she's going to be 9 inches in leg span. Wow. I love the way she's standing up on her legs. Makes her look really big. Ooh, I just love playing with slings. This one here is a Ceratojaris marshalli straight horn baboon. Another thick Weber. As well as a superb eater. Okay, so this is the marshalli, so it does have a straight horn once they become adult, as you remember Marsha from my earlier videos. Now my spiderling is just slowly starting to have her horn protrude out of her carapace. Not quite there yet. Don't know if this is a female or male, but it's nice to own a Ceratojaris species. Other cobalt blue, Cyriopagopus lividus, formerly H.lividum. As you can see, my specimen is brown, so you're not going to see the full blue until they get to the 3-inch mark. There we go. Nice. Well, at least we can depend on that cobalt blue to eat. I was going to say green bottle blue. Okay, Melina's turn. She is my unsexed specimen, hopefully female. Brachypelma bomi, the Mexican fire leg. As typical with the big bomies, they do love to flick eradicating hair. And there we go. Awesome. Alrighty, nice. This is Annette, my other bee vagans. She's the second largest of the quartet that I have. 2 of them are just still spiderlings, and then the adult you just saw a little bit before. So she's about, I would say, good 2 inches already, 2.5, and has her full adult colors. Alright, this guy's an old fart now. This is a Cryptophilus Ramsey, Cuban pygmy. I say he's old because he's a mature male that he matured back, I think, in late 2013. He's almost around 2 years old, maybe if not more. And it's unfortunate that there's no females in Canada that I can get from this specimen. But he's still a great dude. He prefers raw supers. For those of you who don't know how to spot a mature male, this is what they look like. Most mature males will have the tibial hooks that's on the first pair of legs. You can pretty much well see them, but all of them have bulbous pedipalps. Those little feelers, the 2 extra pairs of legs, well, underneath they're going to be like bulbous and swelled up, kind of like they're wearing boxing gloves. Almost all mature males will have that. So that's one way to tell if your specimen is a male or female. Granted, your specimen has to be a full-grown adult to see that. But it just gives you little tips on how to spot a mature male. There we go, you can see the hooks now. Alright, cool. Alright, this is my ever-growing Nhandu chromatus, the white-striped bird-eater, female, 4.5 inches, named Nadia. A very, very nice example. There we go. Now, for those of you wondering, you may have seen pictures of non-duchromatus with different colored carapaces. Well, I could probably explain that. When your specimen gets a lot older, of your enchromatus, you'll notice that the tan carapace that you're used to seeing on a juvenile specimen will start to darken out. So you can see that my female, she's probably about a good 4 or 5 years old. You can see that close to the eyes is starting to darken out into the bluish color. However, it's still a young specimen because you can still see the tan carapace. When they get older, the carapace is going to have a nice aqua color to them. But she is young and full of life. Alright, a lot of people ask me my favorite tarantula is this one right here. Oh, where did it go? Alright, Poecilotheria bara, the ivory lowland ornamental. There we go. This is what they look like as adults. So hopefully one of the unknown pokies that I got from Yuli is a lowland and the other one is a highland, hopefully. So you can see how nice the specimen is. Just give it a look, nice close up. I really love their colors. Here's Roy, one of my blackest teas that I have. This is the Grammostola pulchra, Brazilian black, male. My next tea in line that's going to be all black will be my Brachypelma Schoderi, the Mexican black velvet, but these guys are really nice species and kind of on the pricey side to find as adult females, but they are readily available as spiderlings, and like all Grammostolas, they're pretty much very simple to raise. However, these guys tend to be a little bit faster growing than your typical Potarian rosea. This is my bigger female. This is the Brazilian black once again. The callicerae are huge on the specimen, and her fangs, kid you not, are almost as big as a blondie. Yeah, let's see if he'll take a second one. Oh. There we go. Oh no, still has the first one. Just trying to get the second one. Well, I guess one is all she can handle. This is Roberta, a big female Cyriopagopus rebronitans, the Panamanian giant red rump. "7 inches of pure fast tea." That's what she is in 4 words. There we go, very gentle. Kind of looks like your B. vagans, but they differ in the fact that they don't have that cream outline around the carapace. Very skittish and will bolt when it needs to. Alright, this is my Grammostola pateri, or Grammostola rosea normal form. The rose here. Michaela. The mascot of my channel. Without her, I wouldn't be making any YouTube videos, and sparked my interest to collecting teas in 2007 is Scarlet, my Brachypelma smithy Mexican red knee. The iconic tarantula that everyone should get in their collection. Scarlet is around a 5 to 6 inch female. She's almost near adult size. She'll get up to maybe 6.5 inches as the max. And they're pretty big specimens. And this is the other bee smithy that I have, the one I named Athena. Still a pretty spider. As you can see, she's a little bit slightly beefier than Scarlet, but Scarlet will get to that size. Okay, this one here, you may not be able to see very well, is Victoria. She is my female Thrixopelma ocherty, the giant Peru flame rump. Ooh, hello. Yeah, there she is. Good, around 4.5 inches. It's pretty much its adult size. Here's Jezebel, my Formitopus concerites Haitian brown brood-eater, the spawn from hell. She's a huge girl. And actually, for those who remember Dimitri, Rose is sending me his brother named Stravos. Now Stravos, from what she has told me, is a stud, and he doesn't back away like Dimitri. So I think that he would be a perfect match for Jezzy. So let's give another super, see if she'll eat it. There we go. She's around 7 inches. These guys got up to having a 9-inch leg span. Definitely not a very friendly tea. Another sweet tea for the beginner. This is the curly hair Brachypelma obopulosum, 3.5-inch female named Aragog. Very nice species. And you can tell why they call it the curly hair. Look at her hair all over her legs. They're curly. Let's feed this guy, or this girl. This is my Spurbophrya hoffmanni, the South American horned bird eater. Yeah, just look at the horn on that head. Nice. There we go. It's the first time she's being fed on this video here. She's probably around 4 inches. I don't think she'll get any bigger than that. Cool. Alright, let's try to feed my male Orphanaceous philippinus, which is the Filipino orange. Beautiful. For my Filipino subscribers like Jude. I love seeing their local specimen. Alright, so this one here is Curly Sue II, my other curly hair female. Brachypelma obopulosum. Yep. Splitting image of Sue the First. Yeah. I miss Sue. She was my older female. God, I bought her back in 1996 as an adult, and she died, I think, this summer. So, if I put my numbers together, she could have been estimated to at least be 28 years old. And for a tarantula, that's pretty long-lived. This is why I like the Brachypelma females, because they are very, very long-lived, and you don't really need to do much to give them a happy life. But there we go. Sweet. I missed this attack here. Here's an update on Charlotte, my largest female Chaco goldeni, Grammostola pulchripes. So she has a super worm in her mouth. Let's see if I can try to offer a second one. Beautiful. There we go. Yeah, she's probably around 6 inches. Another 2 more inches and she'll be a full-grown adult. I had her for 9 years now. Raised as a 2-inch female, now she's over 6 inches plus. Try a mature male Poecilotheria striata, Mysore ornamental. Yeah. Looks very, very different than the female that you've seen earlier. Okie dokie. This is Gertrude, my female Theraphosa sturmi, the Burgundy Goliath bird eater. Around 6 inches. Whoa! That was spectacular. And give a second one. She might be very, very hungry today. There we go. Nice fang action going on there. Yeah, you can tell that this is a sturmy rather than the T. blondie. Just look at her patellas, the knee. The first segment, there's no hair on there. If it were a true T. blondie, oh, look at that, she's webbing. It would be full of hair. one's not particularly bad in temperament compared to the former Gretel. And my huge male Hans, he was huge when I first had him. But he died as a mature male, and he lived for around 2.5 years, so Theraphosa mature males are pretty long-lived. But this girl is so young, so she has a lot of life in her left. Up next is Veronica. She is my female Vitellius paranenensis, which is the Argentinian brown bird eater. Yep, around 4.5 to 5 inches is their leg span. This is Kina, my female Colombian pumpkin patch, the Haplopa species Columbia large. Yes. I find this tea to be very, very pretty. I mean, it's kind of like pokey patterns on the abdomen and in the carapace. As you can see, it's a very, very quick spider and not overly defensive, just frickin' fast. This one here is a Formictopus platus, which is the Caribbean island bird eater, similar to the Pecancerides, Haitian browns. Great eaters. And will become mucho defensive once they age. This particular sling isn't too bad in temperament. So that might be a good sign. Alright, so give an update. It's the 9th of January, and my species Blue, which is a Zenithus species, and my Theraphosa apophysis are still currently in pre-molt, so I haven't seen any molts from these guys yet, so maybe by tomorrow or the next day I'll catch them lying on their back and film it for you guys, and I'll try to sex them if the molt's intact. This one might actually be a male. This one I haven't really, I'm not sure on. Could be female or male. I'll have to see. Hopefully with the molt I'll be able to tell 100%. This is a gorgeous female Thrixopelma sanulum, the Cobalt red rump. This will be her first feeding since she molted. Okay. See, she like crickets. Oh! Maybe she likes crickets instead. Oh. Nice! There we go. That's a nice, good attack here. Okay, let's get a secondary cricket. Beautiful. Guys, I just want to give you guys an idea of the color of the species. Blue body with a reddish abdomen, and that's why it's called the Cobalt red rump, not to be confused with the Cobalt blue, an entirely different species. But you can see the blue is just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Reminds you of a green bottle blue, essentially, but a lot slower and much more docile. Foxy Cleopatra, my Neo Holotheli Inci gold form. Trinidad olive. Wow. That was beautiful. Alright, just two more left to feature. My Emperor Scorpion wasn't interested in eating, so we'll finish off with the last tea I'll feature in this video. This is the Chromatopelma Elysium, which is the Israeli gold, or the Israeli black from the looks of it. Unsexed. That was a nice pounce there. Literally chased it. It's about a 1.5 inch specimen. You don't get very large. I think they get up to having a 3.5 inch leg span. And the pièce de résistance, the last invert I'll feature, is my level 5 Scorpion, Parahybana villosus orange morph, which is the African black hairy thicktail. Ooh, nice. Right in the neck. Just want to give you guys an idea of why they call it the African hairy black thicktail. You can see that there's a lot of hair on the tessalon, which is the tail of the scorpion. Yeah. Normally scorpions don't sting unless they absolutely need to. Like if you remember the Emperor Scorpion, they have thick claws, so they don't really need to sting as much. But if you look at the ones on the Parahybana, they're much more slender, so they cannot really have a good grasp when they start to grab their prey. So what they'll do is they'll have to sting it to paralyze it in order to make it easier for them to hold and start to eat it. But there you go. That's the Parahybana villosus orange morph. Alright everyone. There's Maggie. Sit. 11-year-old female Shih Tzu. Sit. Sit. Paw. Other paw. Sit. High five. Good girl. Now, unfortunately, Lola is back with my brother. Came back from vacation from the Dominican Republic. Found it to be an awesome trip. Now we'll give you guys an update on my hamster as well as my guinea pigs, as I usually do in the end of every feeding video that I make. Probably seems to be sleeping, but I'll just leave a carrot here and give them to my two guinea pigs, Haley and Leah. Here's Haley right here. She's around a 3-year-old Sheltie, Peruvian long-haired. And this is Leah. She is a female Abyssinian. They were both born in 2012. So you can see how long Haley's hair is. Yeah, see, they're both very friendly. Hey, hey, don't worry. Have a carrot, one for you, and one for you. They have the same mentality as my dog. They take it and run. Yeah, my hamster seems to be sleeping, so I'm not going to get her out, and she gets rather cranky when you do that. So anyways, everyone, that's the video. Hope you like it, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for an unboxing video. I got 4 incredibly cool teas from Jaffe, so you'll be seeing that, and that's about it. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more vids.